part 2.
That's it. So how are you,
Question and
Chris? All
answer.
right, mate?
Yes, yes, thanks.
Enjoying the weather? Was it like?
Storm
You
Dudley.
said something about an earthquake. That's unusual.
Yeah, we had earthquakes, storms.
But
we've had plague of frogs next. It's all happening.
Well, we've had very high winds and rain.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like actually trees going over.
Yeah.
You know, sort of thing.
We've had that. We had Storm Dudley, then Storm something else, and then Storm Franklin, all within 4 days, and then the earthquake.
Yeah.
It's things are happening. It's all happening.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nod's meeting Dave. Jim's meeting Johnny Howells.
Yeah.
Ballsy's been released.
I mean, was that planned about Jim meeting Johnny Howells, or was it just a fluke, or
No. I was contacted about a month ago by Frank to see if I'd got Johnny's contact details. So they sorted him out.
Isn't Jim writing his book or something?
Don't think so.
Oh no, I just wondered. I thought maybe that's what it was. You know,
don't think so. Unless you know something.
But I don't. I mean, I just assumed, Chris. You know,
never assumed.
I can't think why else Jim would want to meet Johnny Howells.
Well, what about the reunion with Dave and Nod? There you go.
Well, I was. Yeah, but I mean, it's sort of that all meeting, but except for me.
Well,
but,
you can read into that what you like.
I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. You're the one making music, mate. So anyway, right. We've got to carry on with part 2 of these Q&As, and the first one we'll go with this one from Tony Williams about what you thought. Did you the Les Glover CDs? He did a solo one on Henry Priestman. Did you ever hear him at all?
Well, what was that? Sorry, I missed that. What did you say about
this guy's asking about the Les Glover from the Flames.
Yeah.
He's put out a couple of CDs in the past, a solo one, and one with somebody called Henry Priestman.
Yeah, he's from Liverpool, and he was in quite a well-known Liverpool band, I think, Chris.
Yeah. Right.
You know, I'm trying to think of the name.
Did you ever hear the CDs at all?
No, I didn't actually. No.
Okay. That's
have you got it? I mean, have you? Yeah. No, I haven't heard it. So I'll have to contact Les about that. You know, but I think Henry Priestman. I'm trying to think of the name of the band. I think that is a small bit of success way back in the 80s. I'm trying to think of the name of the band now. It's on the tip of my tongue, but yeah.
Then we've got Barry Morton. Yeah, who's asking some about some of the old days. Play It Loud. Did you ever play any of the Play It Loud songs on stage? Apart from Know Who You Are.
I think we did Dapple Rose for a while.
You did that live?
I think I'm sure we did that. You know, a few times, not many. I'm trying to think. What else was on the album? Yeah, that we did. One Way Hotel. We used to
One Way Hotel. Yeah,
we did that, and Raven.
So that's pretty good. That's a fair amount of what. So
that's more than what we did off the other albums after, except for Slade Alive, of course.
That's a good point.
It's funny, we never all the albums we had, Chris, we never played any of the album stuff.
You never really toured. People used to tour albums, didn't they?
I know that was the normal thing, but we were just touring anyway at the time. We were just on the road all the time anyway.
Yeah. Do Play It Loud again, same bloke. Do you think that the move to the songs being more simple? It's quite long. We did one. The songs on Play It Loud are progressive rock. Do you think that the move to songs being more simple and therefore more commercial was a deliberate plan? Did you move away from all the?
Yes, it was really. I mean, because when you think like "Cause I Love You," things like that, you know, that you can't get more simple than that. No. You know, it was for a commercial thing. There was a reason. It was for a commercial thing.
Yeah. Did you enjoy doing the BBC sessions at the time? And did you like being the featured artist?
They were great, actually. I'll tell you, it was good then. It was only an engineer then, a guy called Mike Harding. He was only not the Mike Harding,
No.
but the Mike Harding was just the engineer, and then they used to leave us with him. And then he had a few of his own shows a bit later on.
Yeah.
But he was a great engineer, and he got us a great sound as well. He was like a rock engineer, and he was great because when we used to go to the studio, the BBC studios at Maida Vale.
Yeah.
I don't know whether they're still there, but it was great because they had a fantastic canteen, and we could get like we were great because the sessions was always like late afternoon, early evening. Then he gave us, I think it was 3 hours to do 6 songs.
Yeah.
You know, that 5 or 6 songs, they play one a day sort of thing.
Yeah.
And they owned it, so they could use whatever on any of the Radio 1 shows at the time. I mean, Jimmy Young didn't particularly like us, but
he played you though, didn't he? There was a lot of Jimmy Young. He played you quite a few times.
Yeah, because it wouldn't be his choice.
No, just a
producer's choice. You know, and like we did a lot of Radio 1 clubs. You know, the live ones. You know. I remember doing one. I think it was in Scotland, and Stuart Henry was there, and all the power went off. They lost the program. Something happened, whatever happened, the power went off, and the whole program went out.
I'll have to see if we can find that one.
Yeah.
Power cut. Right then.
Yeah.
You know, when you had your hair cut, was it a relief to get your hair back?
What was that? Sorry.
Was it a relief to grow your hair back?
Yes. Yes, it was. I mean, it did the job, if you like, because then no matter where we went, they knew exactly who we were. I mean, we turned up, say if there was like, say a students' union thing, there'd be about 10 bands on, and you get the social sex sort of going crazy trying to find out who was who. And as soon as we turned up, said, well, you're Slade, so you're in there. Yeah, they knew it straight away. So it did and didn't sort of work for us, if you know what I mean.
Was there an actual point where you decided as a group, say that's it?
Yeah, I don't think we were skinheads for that long, actually, Chris. Well, I remember.
You weren't really skinheads, were you? You
had short hair. Idea. Well, I'll tell you what. I remember when we played at Norwich, I think it was the Melody Rooms at Norwich, and we were skinheads, and you wouldn't believe it was mobbed, packed with real skinheads, and they saw right through us. You know what I mean? It was just a publicity thing. It was ridiculous.
I mean, you had various. I mean, Dave certainly wasn't ever a skinhead.
Dave's hair is just like it is now. His haircut, like the skinhead thing, is like he's got it now. But me and Nod, we used to joke, because the guy who used to cut our hair, a guy named Carl from Wednesbury, he called Nod a rock ape. You know, sort of thing, when he had his haircut and everything. And they used to say, I look like Jerry out of Cannonball. Do you remember there was like a trucking program called Cannonball?
I remember Cannonball, but I don't remember the characters.
There was two of them, and apparently there was two. One was Jerry, and apparently I look like Jerry.
I'll have to look that up.
You have to have a look it up. But
yeah. And right, next one's about moving the band to Polydor.
What was that, Chris?
Chaz went to Polydor. Was it because you don't think Fontana were doing enough for you? Or?
Well, what it was, it wasn't a happening company then. It's a basically run its course. He'd had a few hits way back with, I think the Walker Brothers were on Fontana, and Dave D. Dozy, Big and Mick and Tish were on Fontana. And I don't think there's anybody else, but Chaz had just got a great relationship with the people at Polydor, like John Fruin, the head of Polydor. He got great relationships with them. So I think Chaz bought the contract from Fontana. I don't know how much. It wouldn't have been a lot, Chris, because we weren't successful with Fontana. So it wouldn't have been a lot.
Because you went to Polydor, and obviously it was a better, bigger organisation and everything like that. But Know Who You Are didn't chart. Were you worried about that at all?
Well, it didn't happen, but Polydor still seemed behind us, you know, sort of. I mean, the thing is, Play It Loud, that was released on Polydor.
Yeah.
That wasn't really.
It didn't set the world on fire, did
it? Descriptive of us, really, you know, sort of thing. It was I mean, most of the things that me and Jim wrote together, that, you know, there were, you know, and yeah, it wasn't really descriptive of us, you know, sort of thing, really.
That's getting
and
back
that's when Chas came up with the idea of doing the live album. You know, and that just went berserk. That album, just unbelievable. No matter where we go in the world today, even now, Chris, people always go on about the live album. Because I remember when I toured Australia.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
When I toured Australia with Angie and Susie, I mean, quite a few. It was mega over there, Chris, in the early 70s. It outsold Sgt. Pepper by the Beatles. I've got a triple gold album for it, and apparently went another triple gold album. It was just unbelievable. I remember when we were over there, we was traveling on the coast, all of us, like us, Quo, Lindisfarne, the Caravan. All you'd ever hear was Slade on the radio. And you'd hear, "Oh, not you lot again," you know. I mean, he was just mega. And like I said, when I did the tour with Angie and Susie, people were shouting out, "Get down and get with it," or whatever, you know, from the audience. Because Susie kept on saying, "Have you got your fan club here?" That sort of thing. But I mean, it's just unbelievable, that album. Just unbelievable.
It'll be interesting if you get the same reaction when you do the Albert Hall, won't it?
Oh yeah, that'll be. The only thing is with that, Chris, I can't get any free tickets to that. Would you believe? You know, I mean, it's apparently it's selling pretty good.
Yeah.
You know, I've not looked myself, anyway.
From what people have been saying, there's only certain places where you can get tickets, you know, sort of upstairs or at the back, you know, by the toilets. But yeah, no. But you'll have put a few thousand bums on seats, just you turning up. You just walk on the stage at the beginning.
And then walk off. But I mean, have you ever been there, Chris?
I've never been, no.
It's fantastic. I went to see Clapton there. Way back when. You know, he always does his 3 weeks there. You know what I mean? And he has every night a different theme. Yeah. And he was actually Swin when I was still living in England then. And Swin got tickets, and he called me. He said, "I've got tickets, 4 tickets to the Albert Hall." And we went, and they had fantastic seats, only about 3 rows from the front. And it's funny because, like, the lights sort of went down, and Clapton walks on stage, and it looks like one of the roadies. He was just standing there before some people sort of went, "Bloody hell, it's him! He's on stage!" You know, it seemed like probably only a couple of minutes, but he was just standing there, and nobody took any notice because it looked like one of the roadies. You know, but it was a fantastic concert, though, Chris. I honestly say it's the best show I've ever been to, the best concert I've ever been to.
Well, hopefully yours will be even better.
Well, apparently, Chris, it's selling pretty good.
Well, it is now. There's a lot of people said, because you're doing it, and you know the QSP thing, that they bought tickets just to see that. Yeah. So there'll be a lot of people walking out.
It'll be interesting to see. I thought, blimey, she's jumping at the deep end there. You know what I mean, sort of thing. But according to Reiner, it's selling really well.
Good.
Because he mentioned about there could be a possibility of adding an extra show. You know, but we'll see. Because it's actually, I think he said it holds just over 3,000, which I thought it would have been more actually. But anyway, we'll just see.
Yeah, we'll see. Right. Next question. It's from Amy James Collins. She says, "Hello, Don."
Oh yeah,
you got it. Yeah. This is the books. We met at a book signing in Merry Hill, and I told you I was from Hale. Yeah, you told me about your family trips to Hale.
Yeah.
When you're next in the UK, would you come to Hale to visit? My mum has a lovely self-contained bungalow, so you can stay with us. I'll even buy you Mr. B's ice cream and pastry.
Well, I'll tell you where Hale came from, Chris.
Yeah.
Swin, his sister lived there.
Oh, right.
She was married to a school teacher down there. Sylvie was Swin's sister, and her then husband's name was Edric, and he was a school teacher down there. And the idea was for me and Swin, because it was the Easter holidays. You always had about just over 3 weeks Easter holidays. I don't know what it's like these days. We just had about 3 or just over 3 weeks school holidays. And the idea was, Chris, was for me and Swin to hitchhike down there, right? So I said it is with his mom, Swin and his mom lived in Moxley, and we were going to go from there, going to hitchhike right down. We got as far as Wednesbury and caught the train. so we literally did about, well, from Moxley to Wednesbury, probably about 2 miles.
Okay, yes.
But the thing was, we said, now we said we're going to do it. So we caught the train to Bristol. I think it was Bristol, yeah. And we thought we'd hitchhike it there. But we walked about 7, get about 2 miles. Oh, bugger this. We went back and caught the train all the way down. But I'll tell you what, we had a fantastic 3 weeks. Sort of. I remember, because it was like Easter, so it wasn't particularly that warm. I remember trying to swim, and it was freezing, the sea, so we didn't do much in those days, but it was a great holiday, that was.
You got an offer of a self-contained bungalow with Amy's mum, so
right.
Can't argue with that. Anyway, next one, nice easy one from Joe Hill. What's your best tour memory from Sweden?
Oh,
do you have one?
That's strange. I'm not really. I mean, we did Sweden quite a few times. We've always had a great time over there, but I can't really say that I've got any particular memories from there. But we've always had great tours there.
Well, that's all you can ask, isn't it? Songs you enjoyed it. All right, then we'll do next one. It's I'm sorry to the next one if I don't pronounce it correctly.
No, I don't know what.
Vincente Colquez Barbarian. A simple one. What's your favourite Slade song?
Far, Far Away.
Simple. Okay then.
Yeah, the reason being is like I love not the lyrics on that, and it was it's all about our touring at the time. So he got it spot on there.
Yeah. So the next one is, I don't think this is really his real name. It's Up the Chute. Do you have a favourite Nielsen song or album?
Most of it. I like The Point. That's what it's like a cartoon. It's a story, and he narrates it, sort of thing.
Oh,
and got some great songs on it as well.
Yeah,
and that's what gave me. That's what helped me as well to sort of to write Bibble.
Oh, right. Because
I started. Well, what gave me the instigation for Bibbles? I remember when I was a kid, me and my dad used to watch the cartoons, either Popeyes or that, and I couldn't understand why Dad was laughing at different things than me. You know what I mean? And I was, and that stuck with me. Because when Nielsen came out with The Point, I thought that's what I'm going to do. But so we just wait to see what happens to Bibble. Really, goes on there.
Yeah, the Campbell Close, right?
Yeah.
Here's another. This is caught from Newton Judy. It could be Judy Newton, but it's Newton Judy down here. So he's been a fan since 1972, when he was 13 years old, and the first gig was in Sydney of that year in 72.
It was 73, I think. But anyway, go on, carry on.
Yeah, she pleaded with the mom, or he pleaded with the mom to go. And she accompanied me. Poor mom got trampled a bit when Noddy insisted we stamp our feet, but she was okay. Yeah. Anyway, oh gosh, do you have any special memories from touring Australia? I think we've done this a lot of times.
That particular tour, Chris, I remember it was with us. It was Slade, Quo, Lindisfarne, and Caravan.
Yeah,
it was like a package thing, and all open air shows, like 60,000 people plus. You know,
and we can.
I remember getting off the plane in Sydney, and there's all the TV cameras there, everything, whatever, all the media, and we were walking. We thought we were looking, but who's on the plane? Who's on the plane then? You know, and they were waiting for us. Because Slade again. Then we go back to Slade Alive. Was the biggest selling album there. It even outsold Sergeant Pepper.
Yeah.
And it was mega. And the thing was, when we were on the tour bus traveling with the guys, with Quo, Lindisfarne, Caravan, Slade Alive was on the radio all the time. He was on, and they kept saying, "Oh, not you lot again, bloody hell, it's you lot." And that was an incredible tour, that was. And no, it was just.
We've spoken about. I mean, we've spoken about the Australian tours before. So if New Dan Judy wants to have a look on the channel, you'll find us talking specifically about Australia. So she got lots of things there. So we can do that one. Oh, this is one line. It's a big question from Elaine Potts. What's your most memorable Slade gig?
Well, I think probably the Lincoln Festival, the Bardney, I think it was, or whatever. The one with Stanley Baker.
Stanley Baker.
He was part promoter. Yeah. I mean, the thing was, we were just classed as the top of the pops band then.
Yeah.
And we just went on, and it just. We just ripped it apart. We just went ballistic, Chris. I've never seen anything like it. And the great thing is that Stanley Baker was on the side of the stage watching us, and Nod brought him on stage.
Yeah,
and said, and Zulu had been released then, right? The film, and he got all the crowd to do the stamping like the Zulus in the film. I mean, he was killing himself laughing. Stanley Baker was, and I tell you what, you realise afterwards, because when we came, everybody was in our caravan. All the other bands were in our caravans, you know, sort of thing. It just went ballistic. He was, and that was it. After that, we sort of. It helped us lose the top of the pops thing, if you know what I mean, sort of thing. Yeah. But it just went ballistic, Chris.
I watched Zulu a couple of weeks ago. Fantastic film.
Chris?
I watched Zulu a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, a great film in it.
Brilliant.
Well, I'll tell you the thing now, because some of the crew from Slade in Flame were on that. Right?
Well, Oh, right.
And they would tell us, and they were saying, because you know when the camera pans across the hill, there's these thousands. He said they're running behind and putting a different headdress on.
You can see things. You can see shields that are joined together and rubber spear points and all that sort of thing.
I mean, but what a film, no way. What a film! Fantastic.
Thousands of them. Zulu.
I'll tell you what, when you could hear them in the distance marching.
Yeah.
Where
what's it singing? Men of Harlech.
That's it. Yeah, but I mean, it's a true story when you think about that. It must have been terrifying for those soldiers, English soldiers. Yeah. You know, unbelievable. And like at the end when the Zulus saluted them and left, you know, sort of thing.
Yeah, but brilliant. Right. Now this is a good one. LP Stellino. Do you have any memories of being on the same bill or being able to play with any of the Zeppelin guys? Now, I'm saying this is interesting because there's a bit of conversation at the moment about the way Zeppelin acted towards you, Slade. You know, sort of John Bonham chasing and Robert Plant, well, all of them. How they reacted to you?
Well, remember, we used to play all the pubs together. I mean, we were playing the Hen and Chickens on the Birmingham New Road with John Bonham when he was in a pop band called Way of Life. And Planch, of course, was with Listener. We played with a few times.
Right,
I remember we used to play Sunday nights at the Queen Mary Ballroom, Dudley Zoo.
Yeah,
you know, and we hadn't seen him for it, and Robert Plant was there one night, and we said in the break or whatever it was, we said to him, "What you up to, Robert? We haven't seen you for ages." He said, "Well, Jimmy Page is forming the new Yardbirds."
Yeah.
He's asked me to join. He said, I remember saying, he said, "I don't particularly like the material." He said, "But it means I can go to America," and the rest is history. And they say apparently Jimmy Page said to Robert Plant, we want a really heavy drummer. And of course, well, sorry, Robert had been playing in the band with Bonham, so he was the obvious choice.
Yeah,
you know,
band of
and that's when we played Dallas. And that's when they came along to the show. We didn't know, and they brought fruit to throw at us while we were on stage.
Yeah.
And
but how were they as a band? Sort of, because there's this sort of perception that they were these sort of rock gods, and they looked down on everybody else. It don't matter who you were; they were Led Zeppelin, and everybody else was.
Well, that was all planned. That was Chris.
Yeah.
They ended up doing the whole show to them on their own, like 3 hours or something like that, you know, sort of thing. And they were, especially in the States, they were mega, unbelievable, really. And their albums, I mean, they actually beat the Beatles. When the Beatles played Shea Stadium in the 60s, there was a record because they earned $361,000 for that particular night. It was percentage, but remember that was in the 60s, and then in the 70s, mid 70s or whatever it was, Zeppelin played a festival in Florida, I think, and they beat that by $5 or something like that. Or $50. But when you think the money in the 60s compared with the money in the 70s, you know.
But off stage, what were they like with you? When you were having your chart success and you were selling albums and you're doing all the stuff, how did they look at you?
We didn't really know them then. It wasn't until that night in Dallas. When they were saying, like Bonham was saying, especially Bonham was saying, every time I turn the TV on, you bloody lot are on, or whatever. But see, he wanted to do that kind of thing, Bonham, but that wasn't the Jimmy Page's policy. Right. He was just making them an albums band with like a special type thing, you know. But really, Bonham wanted to be on top of the pops and things like that.
Well, that's fair enough. That'll do that one. Oh, we've got a good one here. Steve Mason. He says, we met a couple of years ago at the Don Powell night in Wolverhampton. Been a huge fan since '72, and over the last 20 years, a serious collection of vinyl. Oh, here we go. You could make some money here. Unfortunately, I'm a completist. I believe that he's got everything apart from an original copy of the Vendor's EP. My question is, would you ever consider selling your copy, no matter what the price? I'd love first refusal.
No way, mate. No way.
You'd have to get past Slade first. So.
That's really been well looked after. That is, you know.
I think we'll settle with no way. That'll do with that one. Cheers, mate. Sorry, Steve.
But I mean, the thing is I'm not really sure how many were actually printed, Chris, because remember, somebody said there's about 6 printed, but where they are, I know Mickey Marson said he had one, but it broke.
Mickey Marson's is broke. I've seen Mickey Marson's. I've seen Johnny Howell's.
Oh, he's got one, has he?
Johnny Howell's has got one. You've got yours now. Dave would have had one.
Yeah, but he wouldn't know where it is.
Billy Meikle.
Billy Diffie.
Billy Diffie. Yeah. He'd have had one. Your manager at the time would have had one.
With Chalky White.
White. So that's 6.
Yeah.
So
you probably find that you say Johnny Howell's has still got his.
Yeah. He did the last time I saw him. It's been a couple of years.
I know that Mick said he got one, but it broke.
But I've seen Mick.
It's a very, in those days, it's like a very brittle plastic, so you have to be careful of it.
Yeah.
And I've got one, but I've got it barely wrapped in, so it's safe, sort of thing. I mean, I couldn't believe it when I got hold of it.
Tell me exactly where it is, so I can come and rescue it.
Okay, actually, I've been asked Hannah because I said I'll find out, but no, it's. I couldn't believe I got it, but I mean, to me, I bet that could be priceless now. I mean, it's priceless to us anyway. I don't know.
Yeah, it is. It's fantastic. Sorry, Steve. Next one is your aunt. Is it possible to translate your book into German?
But
that's down to the publishers, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not. I mean, God, I can't imagine anybody. It would be, but I don't know whether it was actually released in Germany, Chris. You know, but yeah, I'll find out. But I think it might be too much of a, especially now anyway. It might be sort of too much of a thing to translate into German. You know.
I know. Or a simple one from Matt's Neesing. Do you speak Danish?
I understand more than I speak. I know when the kids are talking about me. You know,
it's a bit like us with English, isn't it? We understand.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Was it? I forgot who was it. Somebody said once. I think it was. I think it was Ozzy. He was on about. I think it was on about Jim. He couldn't understand the bloody word he was saying. You know, so that was Ozzy.
Well, people all think we all speak Brummie, which we don't. Birmingham is nothing like.
It's a different thing, isn't it?
It's about 2 feet away. Birmingham,
but it's a totally different dialect, isn't it?
You hear these Peaky Blinders things, and you think, "What's that about?"
Well, it's like when you think from Bilston to like Wednesbury or somewhere like that, how different it is again.
Going to Gornal.
Yeah. Oh God, blimey, unbelievable. I mean, I remember some of the first songs from the pubs we used to play back there. I haven't got a bloody clue. And I say, what you say?
It's like something out of Lord of the Rings, isn't it? So you go, what?
Unbelievable. I know, it's unbelievable, isn't it?
But they all think it's a Midlands accent, but it's not.
That's it. It's all like you said. There's like Gornal, things like that. That's like, I mean. It's like going to the moon, isn't it? It's unbelievable.
Yeah. Sorry, anybody who comes from Gornal.
Yeah. Now that ain't an arcade, just saying how different it is, and yet it's not far away when you're thinking how different the dialect is.
Over the road, isn't it? Sort of. And he goes,
yeah. I know. Anyway. It's just across the Birmingham New Road, and that's it.
Right. Oh, yeah, he's a fairly deep one. John Milne, giving your time back.
We know John, don't we? John Milne. Didn't we go to his wedding many years ago?
I don't know, mate.
John Milne. The name definitely rings a bell. But anyway.
Right. Giving your time back, had you not joined Slade, which band would you join?
Well, I'd like to join the Eagles. I probably know the songs better than they do.
Yeah, but you've had to be born in America as well.
What was that, Chris?
You've had to be born in America as well.
Yeah, that's it. That's the thing, isn't it? Otherwise, I don't know really.
Were there any local bands? When you're in the venue.
All the local bands back then were just playing top 20 stuff.
Yeah. So, or the Californians, the Montanas, and people like that.
The Montanas, Finders Keepers, all that lot was all playing top 20 because that's what it was then to get the work. That's why we were the outcasts in Wolverhampton. But I'll tell you what though, because we had such a great reputation and we were pulling the crowds that they had to book us. If you know what I mean. I remember places like the George at Warsaw, there'd be queues around the block. I mean, unbelievable, really. And they had to, I don't know if they particularly wanted us, but they had to book us because then we were pulling the crowds. It's the same in Scotland as well, Chris.
Yeah, because of this thing of the art gallery, I've been going through some of my archive and stuff, the adverts and everything. And some of the adverts are fantastic for you. The finding of their backs, the fantastic, it's all that sort of stuff. It's really over the top.
I'm looking for. I wish I could see all that. Do you know if any of the other guys are going? Do you know, Chris?
I don't know, mate. I don't know.
Yeah. But remember what I said about keeping your eye on the base.
Yeah. Don't worry. The curator's coming around the house on the Tuesday. She's coming next Tuesday. To return some of my stuff.
Has she been?
No. They took a load of my stuff because they're doing something with it.
Yeah.
And then she's returning, but then she's taking a load of other stuff, posters and things. And there's something for later on. I've got to find out
Well,
what's going on.
If I'm around, I'd love to go actually.
Well, it's going to be on for a few months, so
Well,
starting
in that
May
case,
sometime.
if when I'm up there, keep reminding me, Chris, and I'd like to make my way. We can meet up, can't we? And go together.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
that'd be good.
That'd be good. We could take some photographs.
Yes.
Right. Mike Nichols. Don, I've been a Slade fan since '71. Did the original Slade lineup call it a day too early?
I don't think so. I think we've basically done our time. I think, Chris. There was nothing. I mean, we had that resurge in '83, '84 with My Oh My Runaway, and there wasn't we released a few things after that which didn't particularly do anything, sort of thing. So I think that was it then, and not have been offered other things as well. Sort of thing. So that was it basically.
Right. Well, I think we'll call this session a day as well. Then on that note, and we'll carry if that's all right with you.
Let me just.
Yeah. I've been crossing mine off. Mike Nichols was the last one.
Yeah. So I'll put a line under there. Then I know where we are for the next one, Chris.
We've done a few pages there, mate. So we've done well.
Yeah. Nice. So there's some good questions though, Chris.
And there's still more to come. There's some fantastic ones. So we'll keep the interest going.
We can do more of those. I think we can do more of those.
Definitely. Yeah. I'll say thank you to you. I'll talk to you to the other side after the voice.
Okay. Nice one, Chris. Another good one, mate. Chris.
Yeah. Thank you, Don.